This 19-year-old turned a handout from a friend into over $50 million trading crypto meme coins. Me flipping profits. Now, he didn't just get lucky on his first coin. No. He turned a 24/7 obsession with video games into an 8-figure meme coin empire in just under 2 years. But here's the craziest part. Profits isn't just another scalp trader or CT tracker warrior like the masses. The guy pioneered a completely new strategy that the trenches had never seen before him. And for the last 30 days, I've been tracking him down over 5 different wallets and multiple blockchains, analyzing everything I could find on him, from extracting over 3,000 Telegram messages dating all the way back to 2023 and rating every single tweet he's ever posted. Now, before we start, who actually is flipping profits and why did I choose to analyze him out of every other trader on the blockchain? Now, it's not just about the millions he's made, it's the fact that just a few years ago he was a regular kid grinding Fortnite with his clan Grand FNF. Nowadays he's still with those same exact group of people that he used to play Fortnite with, but they're on a different path. They've made tens of millions of dollars through crypto and have played every single crypto meta from Ethereum to meme coins to NFTs. The same young kids from the Fortnite days grinding their time away at something more productive. Now, before you click off this video thinking I'm lying or just glazing the guy because how outrageous the numbers actually sound, I get it. Before I started analyzing this guy, I didn't believe it either. I checked the blockchain and all the facts were actually there. So here's the actual proof over his wallets. So now I'm on Cielo, which is a thing you can actually look for wallets. This is his main trading wallet where he's made over $23 million, and I'll be going over some of the top trades on Melania, Libra, Trump, Solar, Jelly, of course. Tons and tons of trades on there with over 10 million profit on Melania alone. This is the next wallet with over 1 million PNL, a bit of an older wallet, but still very relevant. Another wallet, 700,000 PNL, very old wallet from like July last year. Another wallet with 4 million profit on it. Another one with 500k on it, another one with another million on it, and I have analyzed every single wallet. They do all connect to him and are public. And the final one is his actually Ethereum wallet with over 6.2 million realized profit, which I'll definitely be touching on, as a lot of people don't actually touch EVM chains and are more focused on Solana, but that is one of Profit's strengths. He knows how to trade whatever is a good narrative. So tons of proof on the blockchain, but how does he actually get to these P&Ls? Now, after months of watching his wallet, I've been able to comfortably split his strategy up into 4 different styles: size plays, front runs, sniping, and Omnichain. And I'll be going over each style in depth and what tools he actually uses to fully achieve the style. As Profits has some of the craziest tools on chain, and he even said he has a custom AI meme scope, which is absolutely insane to hear. Tools are one of the most important things for him, as the way he found his edge is like nobody else on the blockchain. As I said, he doesn't use CT trackers, he doesn't use these things. He has a lot of knowledge about SolScan and a lot of knowledge about wallets, which I'll be going over. Now, before we go into his trading style, the very first part is the foundations. What bot does he use? The obvious answer is Axiom. He's tried out many different bots, and I'll pop up some of the screenshots of him talking about why he actually does use Axiom. He says the best full trading terminal, he's used Photon, he's used Bullux, he's used every single trading terminal, Bloom, Banana Gun, I could go on and on and on. He likes the perps feature, and he also likes all the info it gives you about wallets. Also, the 10,000 wallet tracking cap that I will talk about later in the video is one of the most crucial parts of Profits' trading. So it is very important that you are on Axiom if you want to trade similar to Profits' trading style. So there is a link in the description for that, and you will get 20% off your fees if you do use that link instead of just searching up Axiom trade. Now onto the trading styles. The first type of trades I'm going to be going over is obviously size trades. A lot of Profits' trades are size blasts, where he blasts very large amounts like 500,000, 1 million into high conviction narratives that are obvious gonna send. These narratives don't come around often, so when they do come around, he takes advantage of them. Things like Boop, 500,000 blasted with 450,000 profit. Things like, you know, Libra, Trump, Melania, they're obvious plays that we're gonna send, and he blasts the size when he gets given an opportunity to play on size. If we actually look at the plays, there's a very big theme between Profits. Flipping Profits has said many of times that he does prefer AI plays, he does prefer tech plays, but he does obviously also blast the very big size runners. So when a coin spawns at billions, he's going to deep dive into it. Obviously, Melania was the Donald Trump's wife creating a meme coin. He pulled a 10x on 900,000, basically sniping the coin. Libra, same thing. Argentina president, in and out very quickly, move size 3.3 mil. Same thing with Trump. Obviously, Trump's meme coin, absolutely insane. But here is when we get a little bit more sticky. If you go into Jelly, this was an AI trade, and Boop, that was also a tech trade. So we'll be going over that, and also AGI XT, which also was a tech trade. All three of these trades were tech and AI, and all three of them he did blast size on, so they are very relevant to this trading style. So if you start to look at the trades, the very first trade we're going to look at is Boop. He did obviously make around $458,000 with a $500,000 investment at around $80 million market cap. As you can see, he was waiting for this launch. He actually does know the founder of Boop, Dingaling. He was the founder of PancakeSwap. If you do know PancakeSwap, one of the largest dexes on chain. He was a very, very well-backed founder, and it was a hype launch. Everyone was waiting for the liquidity pool to be added to the coin. People didn't know that the CA was public, so the contract address was public before it was launched, and he was ready, waiting for someone to add the liquidity pool so people could start trading the tokens. And obviously, he was also a seed investor, so he knew a little bit more than most people about this coin, and obviously he had done his research about the coin, but that didn't stop him from making a trade even though he was already up 10x on his seed investment, as he did market buy quite a lot at 80 million, ending up with a 500,000 profits just from monitoring the liquidity pool and when people added to the liquidity pool. So yeah, this is a trade anyone could have completed. It didn't take anyone too crazy to figure out how to run this trade. All you had to do was be monitoring the site and being ready for when it to launch. But the difference between Profits and many other people is that Profits has a lot of on-chain knowledge, which you'll see later in the video. Now the next trade we're going to look at is Jelly Jelly. Obviously on Jelly Jelly he made around 570,000 with a $200,000 investment, although he did rebuy some later on. Most of his original buys is where he made most of his money, around, you know, that $7 to $8 million range. He was obviously had a lot of info on this coin and a lot of conviction in this coin, which led him to blasting so much money. As you can see, this is some of the earliest hints he posted in his Telegram. He said, need a coin where the team is absolutely insane, they bundle 95% of the supply, and fat liquidity and market makers to twop it into infinity. So he did know a lot about this coin. He has a lot of on-chain research and a lot of on-chain knowledge overall, which leads him to be able to ape these coins with so high conviction and be so confident in his trades very early. As you can see, he was also speculating this coin to go much higher. He could found the founders Forbes and other things like that. This guy is very well known. The founder Sam Lessons raised over $750 million in startup funds in the last 7 years, and also Solana themselves actually invested into his company. So obviously when the chain you're trading on invests into the coin, it's gonna go massive. So he had a lot of conviction in this play, and he sold out later that day, just a 1 to 2 hour trade, and he was out with over $600,000 in pure profit. Another set piece play for him, although it was his confidence in blasting so much money that really got him so much profit in the first place. A lot of people are really scared when they trade, but Profits does say that one of his favorite quotes is that if you don't enter the trade confident, you've already lost the trade before it started. So he only enters trades when he has really high conviction and he's confident in himself, he's confident in his research, and he trusts himself. He knows that he's a winner, and he knows that these trades more often than not will bring him money, so he's not worried in the trade, he's not scared to cheat, and he's not scared to round trip. The next and the last size trade he did pull off was obviously AGI XT with around a $200,000 profit on a $100,000 investment, which was around 200 to 400 SOL at the time. So he entered this coin not that early, to be honest with you. He entered around that $1 to $2 million market cap range. As you can see, this coin went up to over 100 million, and mainly what convinced him to buy was also the confluence, which means the wallets and the people that were in it, but also the people they were supporting and the people backing it. He really knew the dev and did some research into what the dev was doing and what the dev's vision on this project was, and could see that this was something very abnormal. And he also looked at the soul scan and everything like that. He says, this is one of the people that worked on the project, and it says, I create superpowers for humans with AGI XT. He has a GitHub linked. He knows what to look for in the coin. He can see founder of AGI XT and Dev XT LLC. He's wondering what this is. He's going onto his LinkedIn. He's going onto anything he can find to try and grab some more information and be ahead of the curve. That's what all trading is about. Getting information earlier than the next person. You can see that this was a 19-year-old company that he was already working in. So he definitely had a lot of connections, a lot of knowledge in the space, and he could build a solid tech project. And Profits was just convinced on his vision and betted on his experience in the fields of AI, tech, and all the companies he's worked at. As you can see, every single role he's done is listed on his GitHub. There was many people that followed him. He had good mutuals and everything like that, leading to a very well executed trade from the boy flipping profits with over $200,000 ending profit. Those are the main size plays I'm going to be talking about. Before we go into the next strategy, I do just want to sum up a few things on what convinces profits to ape a size play. The 3 things that profits mainly uses to figure out these size plays is the confluence of the wallets buying it. That is how he finds some of these plays very early, through order book, through tracked wallets, things like Melania, Trump, Libra, Jelly. A lot of these coins he obviously found through other wallets, as a lot of them didn't actually pull up on the pause category or the vision category, whatever you want to call it, since they weren't launched on Pump Fund themselves. Like, Melania, Libra, Trump, they were launched on Meteora. So he does need wallets to originally find the coin and also hold his confluence in holding the coin and make sure he's confident within the trade. The second thing he uses is catalysts. What future catalysts could cause this coin to go higher, and when are those catalysts going to happen? Things on like Trump, he probably betted on the normie attention that would come later in the next coming days. Things like Jelly, it's people pricing in the narrative. That's the third thing I'm going to be talking about. Front running, things being priced in. He's usually very early on these trades. He doesn't usually enter coins that are slow cooking. So trades like Boop, he was just front running things being priced in. A lot of people were on the sidelines waiting for this Boop coin to come out. So he knew that the second the pool opened, he was going to buy as much as he could and sell on the people that were trying to buy the coin. He checked the Twitter engagement. He checked the people that didn't get in the seed investment. He knows that the angel round was very small. All these little factors add up into the FOMO into the coin, leading him to sell into that great volume when the coin actually launched. And all these things put together with years in the market leads to some of the best size plays on the chain as a whole. As you can see, over 10x on Melania, which was one of the most disgusting trades I've seen on chain in a very long time. So obviously we'll now be moving on to the next trading style, which is front runs. Whether it be AI front runs, it would be wallet front runs, it'd be CTO front runs. Profits is one of the best front runners on chain in general, and he does this using quite a lot of tools that I'm going to be talking about, specific tools that he has mentioned in previous videos and interviews. So the first front run I'm going to be talking about is on the screen right now. It was John Pork. It's obviously a meme a lot of you people have seen, but it was dead for ages and ages. And if you see this and you're not in the know of what he actually pulled off to know when to buy this after 10 months of this coin being dead, you definitely call him an insider, you'll call him a scammer, whatever you want to call him. But the truth is he made 150k plus on this coin, as you can see on his 3 wallets alone: 60k, 52k and 22k, buying in at a very low market cap. If you knew what he knew on this coin, you would have aped exactly the same way he did. So basically what he did, he actually front ran a tweet from DJ Harambe, which is the Pepe dev, which is obviously massive, multi-billion market cap. He actually shilled the John Pork coin a little while ago. As you can see here, there's a John Pork shill there, and there was a few other ones as well. Obviously if the Pepe dev's trying to push a coin, it's gonna fly. So this coin did end up going to over 6 million market cap, but the way he found it, he didn't track the the DJ Harambe's wallet or the DJ Harambe guy Pepe dev's Twitter. He actually used a different tool which is called a dormant wallet finder. It's a little bit hard to explain, so I'll pop up the clip right now of him explaining it himself.
If you even like took like 10 minutes to just look at why I bought, like you would buy too. Like I didn't buy off of a DM. I didn't buy off of someone sending me CA. Like wallets, literally wallets. Like that coin had no buys for hundreds of days, and suddenly a dormant wallet buys the coin. Like I'm gonna buy it too, and I bought on 3 different wallets.
So if you don't know what a dormant wallet tracker is, I've got one pulled up right here. This is the one I use. He uses a slightly different one, and I'll explain why in a minute. It's basically notifications for dormant wallets. A dormant wallet is an address that's been inactive. So if it's got a whale or it's all these other things that apes a really old coin. So say there's 100 Sol sitting in a wallet and it hasn't moved around in 3 months. He will get a ping on the monitor when he finally buys a coin, because there's obviously a reason someone's kept that money in that wallet. Usually it's a whale or some kind of CTO. It's used to coins seem a little bit more organic than just buying on freshers, and that is exactly what he had. He had a monitor like this one pulled up, and he saw the ping. He realized the confluence on the wallets. He did a little bit more deep dive, and he ended up turning his 15 Sol into over 130k. Basically, this guy is the one that he did use the monitor. I was looking in to try get access to one of these dormant monitors, and I saw this big blue bot, which was the one he actually did say he uses. If you go onto the website and the Telegram, you can see that this is over 25 $2,500 every single month if you just want access to the tools, which is absolutely insane. So obviously I tried to find a cheaper alternative, which I did. I came across this Chalky Tree guy. I've read some of his threads. I saw that he had the exact same tool, which is this Infantum one, and I did end up purchasing it based off of his trade. They've got all these tools here, basically the same as BBB, but it is 1/10 of the price of BBB, being only 2 sol per month, which is really cheap. It's called Infantum. I'll leave a link below if you do want access to it. But yeah, this is something that he leverages to the best of his advantage. He leverages tools that offer fresh monitors and dormant monitors, which this both have, as you can see: Freshies feed, whale feed, router feed, age Freshies, token Freshies, and dormants feed. There is a lot, unpack when you get your hands on a monitor like this, but you can definitely catch plays like that John Pork play like he did, which is absolutely insane. As he saw these really old wallets buying for seemingly no reason, as you saw in the clip before, he obviously copy traded them into the trade and made a ton of money. Now, if we go on to the next trade, this next trade was Reline. And Reline, it was something much different. Reline was a front run of a CA post on another hype launch, a little bit similar to Boop, but not really. He aped this one on Pump Fun. He's got a really big portfolio, so he can be prone to gambling on a lot of these coins. As you can see, he aped at 48,000 and 72,000 market cap with 6 sol in total. And this coin ended up going to over 8 million market cap. He front ran the CA post on this coin and on obviously the Twitter account as well. As he saw the tech, it was a hype launch, and he looked at the wallets and he understands how to read soul scan. He would have obviously gone through the holdings. He would have checked the fresh holding. He would have checked, this wallet, what's he holding? He would have gone through here. He's holding, he's fresh 4 months ago, blah, 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 stream flow treasury, it's a lock, right? He would have gone next one. He would have clicked on this one, and you get what I mean. He would have checked the wallets and seen what kind of relation they have. Are they sloppy bundles? As he says right here.
With these AI coins, you should always check the dev wallet. You should always check the holders. You should see if the dev is deployed before, if it's connected to rugs. You should see if they're reused bundle wallets, and if they ran up a rug before that. Because a lot of these teams do use reused bundle wallets, and they slip up, and you can kind of tell it's a rug beforehand.
It's very easy to check whether a coin is a sloppy bundle or a fresh bundle and a very professional launch. Once you start to understand what a professional launch is, rather than a reused bundle, a sloppy launch, a dirty funded deployer, you will start catching some of these trades like this. I will say he traded it pretty perfectly, aping on Pump Fun and then selling the Pico top, but that's obviously just with his experience in the market, selling off here and here and here. He traded it very perfectly, but that comes all with time. The main important thing is actually catching the trade, which you can see there on the way he actually caught it. He caught it through, his AI pulse new pairs, and also just front running the CA post, looking at the top traders, the top wallets, and how much they're farming, how professional the launch is, and everything like that. Now, just to summarize the whole front run section and how he catches the plays, he uses on-chain monitors like Dormant and Freshes. You can either use BBB, which is 2,500 a month, or you can use Infantum, 2 sol a month. I'll leave them both linked down below. A lot of his front runs he catches by being an on-chain sleuth and deeply understanding both top holders and soul scan. He understands what a good bundle is and what a bad bundle is, and he also takes risks when risk to reward presents. This basically means, that Reliant coin we went over, the coin was at a very low market cap, and he thought if it was the real one, it could go very high. So he obviously took a risk in that coin on gambling whether the CA was going to be posted, leading to a very fat PNL. The next trading style he has is sniping coins. Obviously this isn't nowhere near as good as it once was, but he is still very good at sniping coins, and it was worth highlighting. As you can see, this coin went up to 20 million market cap. This was back in January. It was Sol AI. It was a really hype launch. Everyone was waiting days for this launch. So obviously once they drop the CA at bonding, he's going to try something insane. So Flipping Profits tried just that. As you can see on my screen, although it may be confusing, you can see he did buy the coin. He ended up buying $41,000 or 200 sol of the coin, which you might think is the crazy part, but that is not the craziest part. He used a 565 sol bribe fee. So basically he is paying to get his transaction through before everyone else, and that is exactly what happened. He ended up turning this into one of his largest trades of all time, just due to this bribe fee and the insane trade overall. As you can see here, this wallet, this is when the radium liquidity was added and the coin went live after the tweet. He was the first transaction with 198 sol. Here, this is him, G59. And if we look a little bit closer, you can see the market cap just went up and up and up. By the 10th transaction, it was already at 14 million market cap, 300 sol buy, 60 sol buy, 50, 25, 35, 5, 300. You know, it just went up and up and up until it was at 45 million in just around 20 transactions. All of Sniper candles. Obviously, he wanted to beat out this Sniper candle, and sniping is basically who can pay the most fees. Flipping Profits understood this and decided to go for one of the most insane bribes you'll ever see on chain. Although this was one of the most insane moves, one of the most insane bribes, one of the most insane snipes you'll ever see, it turned out to be one of his best trades and only ended up holding it for 14 seconds, making $1.2 million from his original, $160,000 investment, which is absolutely nutty to think about. Now, although this method of sniping is no longer as viable as it used to be, there's a lot of lessons you can take away from this specific snipe, and I'll be talking about those in a second.
I did some really dumb shit, but it worked out.
Okay, what was
I
it?
did like a 500 sol fee, which is like what you're not supposed to do really. And I did like a 500 sol bribe, but I still made like 600K on the snipe. Like it was like the 500 sol fee was just not needed at all. It was just retarded.
You heard it from him there. People aren't supposed to do this. As he said, it was some dumb shit. Completely a 1,000 sol bribe or over $200,000 at the time just in fees. Even if he missed the snipe, he would have to pay that $200,000, which is absolutely insane to think about. If the coin went bad, he just didn't get filled at all. He would have had to pay it regardless. As he said, it's some dumb shit it's not supposed to be doing, but it is a very big lesson. Sometimes you have to go against what CT is thinking and do something that no one's ever done to really make progress and hit big. Now, obviously, that was a lot of information to take in, so just take some time, rewatch it if you need to. I will do a little summary at the end, but I just want to go over some quick tips now that we've done with his trading style. As after analyzing all this profits content, I couldn't just put them all into set styles. Some of these are just general tips and how we'd restart if he started out today. A lot of you are in a beginner position, so I just want to lay out how profits suggest you to restart, and you can listen to that right now.
If I had to start over right now, like I would be on meme scope all day long and just taking like 20 to 50% gains, and like that's the only way to make it out right now, I feel like. And like I would just like DM people nonstop and just try to pick their brains and like get in their groups and like went from there.
Yeah, so basically what he said was you should join alpha groups, things like DigiWorld, Shocked, Prosperity. I'll leave a couple links that are pretty good below. He would also track tons and tons of wallets. In one of his interviews, he said he tracks over 724 wallets, but when he's tracking wallets, you don't want to be using those wallets as, conviction or just copy trading them blindly. You want to be using them just for info on coins that you didn't see. These Grand FNF wallets, people like Profits, people like that, they have so many wallets tracked, and they use them to get info on coins like Trump, Libra, the big runners that you won't see on this pulse category that you can see right here, because they get launched on Meteora, they get launched on this, they get launched on that, they get bundle rugged, they're old tokens, whatever it may be. You need tons of wallets tracked and the right monitors to do so. Profit's journey was never only up. As he says, he had a very swingy journey, and he went to almost zero many a times. So if you're just starting out today, don't be discouraged by seeing all this money that he's making and think that because you're 1 year deep and you're not on the same levels as him, that you will never make this much money. When he started, none of us made the amount of money that we did make, and that's just because a lot of the trenches is an experience game. You won't learn soul scan overnight. You won't even learn what a lot of these indicators and how to read narratives overnight. All of this stuff takes time, and trenching is all a time game. He's on 16 hours every single day, no matter what the market's like, whether he buys coins or not. A lot of the time he goes to sleep without buying a single coin for the day, which is just insane. Preserving capital and knowing when to go risk on is really important in the trenches. Now, I just want to end the video off with a little bit of advice and a quick summary of the video. The first thing you need to do is finding your edge. Finding your edge is so important. Profits' edge, as as you could see, is tech, AI, big conviction plays, all the different trading styles I've told you in this video. He was one of the people that pioneered sniping on Solana in January. When no one else was sniping these coins, he was doing the most to snipe and get ahead. If you don't find an edge, you're just going to lose money in this space. The second thing you need to do is test out strategies. Test out all the different styles of trading that I told you Profits does in this video, all 4 of them. See what works for you, see what doesn't work for you, see if you can understand them. Go into those discords I talked about earlier, try use those monitors, see if they work for you, see if you understand them. And then the next thing you need to do is going against CT. CT is a lot of noise on CT. Everyone said Profits was, stupid or brain dead for using $200,000 in tip to snipe that solar coin, but it ended up being one of his biggest plays of all time just because he went against CT. He went against what people were doing. People were doing 10 sol tips, people were doing 20 sol tips, but no one was on his levels. He was thinking ahead, he knew the hype of the coin, and he trusted his gut. That goes into the next point. You need to enter every single trade confidently. If you're not confident in the trade, you won't ever make a single bit of money in the trenches. The final bit of advice I can give you is become an on-chain sleuth and master SolScan. Profits is the definition of an on-chain sleuth. He knows SolScan from back to front. He spent thousands and thousands of hours analyzing bundles, looking at dev fundings, looking at anything he can find on SolScan to piece together different bits of information about dormant wallets, freshes, and different coins. But for the final bit of advice, I don't want to tell it to you myself. I want to hand it over to Profits to give the last piece of the video.
Just be grateful for the small things in life. Like, not everybody's in your position. There's people doing worse out there. Like, I'm just like thankful for anything that happens. Like, cause I just wake up another day and just get to it. So
that was all from me. And if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.